control light is just blowing up right there. First, second, third gear. It's so cool. So today I'm driving a 2014 Cadillac CTS-V sedan. I've always discounted the Cadillacs because I never thought I was old enough, and I probably watched too much Sopranos. So I'm not Italian and I'm not from New Jersey. So every time I see a Cadillac, like, I automatically think in my head that it's got to have that New Jersey tag, the yellow one that says the Garden State. Like, that's what I picture. You know what I mean? Tony Soprano drove one. He drove a couple Escalades. Paulie Walnuts drove one. Big P drove one. I guess they all drove them, right? So from watching Sopranos so much, and I was such a huge fan of the show, that's what I envision when I see Cadillac. And on the flip side of that, like, as opposed to like the gangster Italian guy, I picture an old man. Like an old man, like a guy that's like on the steering wheel like this. So I've always discounted the Caddy, man. This is actually the first, well, the second CTS-V I've driven. I drove the first gen car, which was really fun and cool, but build quality was just really bad, and typical of that era GM product where, you know, everything was just kind of willy-nilly put together. I'm in a second gen car. This one's powered by a 6.2 liter 556 horsepower engine. It's an LSA motor. It's the same engine that's in the C6 ZR1, which is pretty crazy, right? The first gen car was powered by an LS2 and an LS6. They switched midway through the life cycle of the first generation car. Actually made the same horsepower, 400, just had a broader torque curve. And that car was available with 6-speed manual only, which is pretty wild for Cadillac, actually. I'm sure they lost a lot of sales because of that, and I'm not sure who they were targeting with the manual only. I guess they were really trying to reel in like the M5 buyer or the C63 buyer or E63 buyer, but they re-released the automatic. The one I'm driving today is an automatic. It's a 6-speed. It's still available with the Tremec 6-speed manual, if that's your thing. I believe the automatic is a little bit faster. This car is crazy fast. Again, 556 horse. It goes 0 to 60 in like 4 seconds flat. Does a quarter mile in like low 12s. It's a brutally fast car, and it doesn't feel overwhelming actually. When you think 556 horsepower, you know, I automatically think like it's gonna like just be insane. But the power comes on really progressive in this LSA engine. And with 550 foot-pounds of torque, I mean, there is absolutely zero lag. I'm just giving it a little bit of gas here, and the throttle response is amazing. I love the steering, actually. It's really heavy. I like that a lot. And the brakes are great. They're 6-piston Brembos. Haven't had this thing at the racetrack or anything, but I'm sure they're fade-free. I don't remember the last time a set of 6-piston Brembos weren't fade-free. But the initial bite and the pedal feel awesome. The car's pretty comfortable. I like the seats. The interior is well laid out. It's very ergonomic. It does have a lot of cheesy plastic, like these little doohickeys on the gauges and all this chrome trim that's not really chrome, and just like some really bad plastic. Still kind of falls to that GM build quality thing. But the third gen car is coming out, or is out maybe, I'm not sure yet, but that car's 640 horsepower, goes 200 miles an hour. That's an absolutely crazy car. It's completely bonkers. Because this one is enough power. It's like they go up 100 and some odd horsepower every time they release one of these, from 400 to 556 to 640. When is it going to be enough? Like, I think this one's pretty powerful. Let's kick down on this one real quick here. So the back end just slid completely out right there from a 40-mile-an-hour roll. I've got it in sport mode. The 285s do a decent job of holding this thing together, but below 40 miles an hour, it does tend to kind of just want to come loose on you. And it's a little bit cold out today, so the Michelin Pilot Super Sports are doing the best job they can. And now that this car is a couple of years old, they sell for about $40,000. I think they're a tremendous value for what you get. I mean, you got to think about these numbers, right? Even with the automatic, this thing 0 to 60, 4 seconds flat, 3.9 seconds, super quick quarter mile, does 175 mile an hour with the automatic, and with the manual it's not limited, it goes 191 miles an hour. So I mean, just an animal, this thing. And really, with temperatures being so low today in Raleigh, I can't get traction under 40 or 50 miles an hour. I mean, it's a pretty burly drive, this car, you know. But the cool thing is, when you do get wheel spin, it doesn't like to kick sideways. It still likes to go straight, you know. Like I said, the 285 Michelins are doing their job here. And the 6-speed automatic works pretty well. I mean, the upshifts are pretty quick. It is a little bit too muffled for me. So, you know, again, I'm not sure what demographic Cadillac is going after here. If it's an older demographic that maybe likes a quieter car. But it's really, really chill. I definitely want an exhaust on this car to wake it up a little bit. And a little bit of dechroming too, man. Let's get with the deal here, Cadillac. Like, the chrome has got to go. The grill, like the strut grill, I don't know if you guys remember that show, Unique Autosports, man. It was on back in the day. It might even still be on, I don't know, but that dude used to put strut grills on everything. They were like the worst grills, like these big, crazy chrome, like mesh grills, and they look horrible. And this car has that grill, and then it's got the chrome wheels. So, you know, I don't know. I'm just not a fan of chrome, but you could certainly tone that down, put some new wheels on and get these powder coated something. But as far as the look is concerned, I think it looks all right. I'm into it. I think it's got a good look. The sedan, the wagon looks good, and the coupe looks great. I mean, they're certainly not as good looking as an F10 M5 or a C63 or an E63. But again, they are less expensive. They do offer all of the performance and then some. I mean, it is faster than those cars. It's got almost 100 foot-pounds more torque than those engines. And, you know, it just really shows. I'm really enjoying this car. The only drawback is it's super heavy. So it's 4,300 pounds. Not sure how it handles turns. Not sure I want to really go around too many turns in this car. Let's see if we can roll on the throttle here. Man, this thing is so fast. But I do love the way it builds power. Very progressive. Man, with an exhaust and a pulley, like, I don't even know if this thing needs a pulley, but with an exhaust, just a catback exhaust, this thing would be crazy. This thing is like a drift machine. God bless it. I don't know that I could actually daily drive this car. I take that back, because I would get arrested. I mean, you literally can't go half throttle without breaking the speed limit. Quarter throttle. Like, flooring it is useless. It's completely pointless. I mean, this thing needs an Autobahn or something. Gosh, the torque though. Have I mentioned how fast this thing is? I mean, look, it goes like 12 O's in a quarter. That's quick, man. It's almost an 11-second car. If you put a set of slicks on it, it would be an 11-second car out of the box. I mean, this really is a sleeper, because it doesn't look too much different than our normal CTS-V, or CTS, sorry. I mean, aside from that big stupid strut grill I was telling you about and the chrome wheels, but like, if you toned it down a little bit, this is the ultimate sleeper, man. If you guys are shopping for that, you know, 500 horsepower mid-sized luxury car, I would definitely consider the CTS-V. I mean, this thing is an absolute riot. And listen, for the money, it's only a couple of years old. This one's about 40,000 bucks. Has really low miles. I mean, I don't know if it's more reliable than the German cars. It might be. But with this awesome vet motor, this LSA engine, 556 horse, you know, I mean, it's the C6 ZR1 engine. Like, I'm just happy that Cadillac, when they went to the drawing board for the second generation CTS-V, and they were like, what motor do we put in it? And somebody was like, hey, the ZR1 motor. And somebody else was like, yeah, perfect. You know, and I'm glad they made that decision in the boardroom, because this thing is crazy fun. And for 40K, like, if you got to take your kids somewhere and this is what you want, man, do it. I love this car. Go drive one. Please follow me on Instagram, FlyingLap1, and subscribe to my channel. I'd really appreciate it. I'm out, guys. Peace.